AMC is saying the rent will rise significantly as a result of deferred obligations. And AMC was operating at 21.9% of leased and partnership international theaters as of March 5 with limited seating. AMC says if attendance increases as expected, liquidity will comply with covenants through March 2022. So AMC will survive as a company, but they will not be making a lot of money as a company going forward. They are going to be paying a lot of whatever cash they bring in is going to their bankers who worked out a deal with these guys to survive the pandemic. They're going to be restricted to 20 to 40 to 60% capacity in many markets. And that, is just going to keep them down from making a ton of cash. I mean, that's just how it is. And so if you're thinking that AMC is just going to become a cash cow and just run to the moon, not going to happen. They can't charge you $100 a seat for a theater because you're not going to pay it. They can only charge you for the seat that they've charged you in the past. And now you might be obligated to wear a mask in the theater, except when you're chomping your popcorn. It's not going to be the same experience that you're used to. And so welcome to the new world. It's going to be, somewhat yucky, but that's what it is. And they can't open up 2,500 new theaters next week because that doesn't work that way. And movies aren't coming out from Hollywood every week, 20 a week. I mean, that's not going to happen. The studios are going to feed out movies as they can get the audience to the movies. This is all has been throttled down. The whole movie business is throttled down. Cruising won't start till next year, I don't think. And so cruise lines aren't going to be at full capacity either for a long time. This is just expect this, and it'll be the online world where there'll be unlimited upside. Is the online world, and that's where we talk about. GameStop. We talk about GameStop. We talk about other online marketers and e-commerce companies that are doing well. The stay-at-home economy companies are going to do very well. We are 10 years down the road now for the stay-at-home economy. We are 10 years ahead of where we're supposed to be from a year ago. Because a year ago, we were still commuting to our jobs. At least a lot of you were. I was here talking about cruise ship holidays. The commuting was being done. And people were listening to the radios and their podcasts in their cars, or they're commuting in their trains or their buses or subways or whatever they were doing, riding their bikes to the office. That is largely over. Largely not happening with many people anymore. And there are now a lot of people out there who are realizing, I don't ever want to do that again. How do you think I survived? I'm 65 years old. How do you think I got here? What, was I a little cutesy in the corner? It wasn't the looks, Oh my goodness gracious, guys. Thank you for following this guy. I think NASDAQ is about to have a big run because of the amount of cash coming into the market because of the stimulus program, and also the amount of cash that will be earned by a whole bunch of companies, public and private, because of the 1.9 billion turning over, 1.9 trillion turning over. 6-month impact on the U.S. economy minimum, and then there's the other impact. We're getting our vaccine shots. More and more of you are getting these, and states are opening up, cities are opening up, economies are opening up. This is the second wave. So not only is there a bunch of money coming into the economy, it's coming into an economy that's opening up on top of everything else, which means another bunch of trillions of dollars are turning over. And we're going to see a GDP number going forward for the United States every quarter for the next year and a half that are just going to be stunning growth numbers. This is an economy going into overdrive, and the markets will reflect this amount of cash going through it. It's just going to be amazing how much cash is going to go through the markets. And I think you folks are going to like your stock prices, and you're going to like your 401ks, and you're going to like your Roth IRAs. You're going to like your IRAs. You're going to find a very, very liquid and accelerating market for quite some time yet. And the rest of the world knows it. They know it. And the support for this market is also coming from Europe because they announced their interest rate policy in the last couple of days. They're going to keep their rates at negative levels. They're going to support their bond market and flood Europe with cash to keep business hiring and rolling and not laying people off. This keeps demand up. And with the U.S. demand rising and U.S. Economy rising, it's just going to spill over into a huge running economy. Yes, there could be inflation. I don't care. It goes to 3-4%. I don't care. It's all good, kids. This economy, for a lot of you out there as retail investors, I think it's going to be just what you want, just what you need. And I think you're going to like the returns. I think there are going to be people in the next year when travel opens up who are going to travel the world and not have a home for 2 years. They're just going to be traveling. They're going to put all this stuff in storage, and they're going to fly to a country and spend 2 months there. And they're going to work online, and then they're going to sightsee for 5 hours a day. And then they're going to work the next morning for 4 hours, and they're going to sightsee for 4 hours. And they're going to enjoy exotic foods and see exotic places. And they're going to download games from GameStop and play online with that. And GameStop's going to keep them posted on what's going on with their gaming world. I see people becoming nomads, willingly, wantingly, desperately, because they didn't get that college trip in when they graduated from school. They had that job offer from Uncle Ned or from that law firm, whatever, and they went right into a career out of university and just slaved and gave it all up and let go of that backpack trip that they could have had in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s. 281 on GameStop, by the way. They're gonna travel now. I see people going to Europe and renting an RV for 6 months and traveling Europe in an RV for 6 months. Husband and wife, maybe with kids, maybe not. Empty nesters or not, whatever. $279, $280 on the stock. With their laptops, and they're employed. They're going to spend $100 a day, $200 a day on the road, and they're going to make $200-300 a day between the two of them because they're both working. But they don't have any rent to pay because they've put everything in storage. They don't have an apartment. They've sold the condo. They dumped the house. They're liquid and they're mobile, and they're going to travel for 6 months in Europe, and then they're going to fly from there to Africa. They're going to go to Asia. They're going to go to South America. They're out. They've been freed up, and they're now realizing, I don't need to be in that cubicle anymore with those supervisors who are being ground from above them. They're grinding them to grind me. I'm not playing that game anymore. Forget about it. I am out of here. Not gonna do it. I'm going to be freed up, and I'm going to be mobile, and I'm going to explore the world because it's all about me. Yes, it's time that it's about me and my well-being, because I'm never going to be 35 again. I'm never going to be 40, 45 again. I'm never going to be 50, 55 again. I'm never going to be 60, 65 again. I'm going to live now. This is it. I don't care about my corporate reputation and my LinkedIn profile. I don't care. I've got work I can do online, and I can go, baby.